What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. Today's video is going to be an update on my team's progress with SPSFC. That's Self-Published Science Fiction Competition. I am on Team Book Invasion, which I'll have all of my team's channels linked down below so you can check them out on their progress as well. For the last couple of months, everybody on the team has read the first 10 to 20% of all 28 books in our slush pile. As we finished sampling each book, we would vote yes, no, or maybe to whether or not we would like to continue reading the full novel. Once everyone finished sampling all of the books, then it was time to start tallying up the yes, no's, and maybes. Once everyone finished sampling the books, it was time to tally votes. There were 5 books that were unanimous yeses that immediately went into the next round. In order to see who the 6th book was going to be, all of us maybes had to go in and finalize yes or no, and thus our 6th book was chosen. Today, I'm going to share with you the 6 books that Team Book Invasion has voted on to read in their entirety to see who will advance in the next round in our quest to find this year's winner of the self-published science fiction competition. Let's kick this off with The Stars Within as far as what this one is about. For Corel Evandra, her psionic powers have always meant 3 things: mandatory service to a multi-galactic corporation, a luxurious lifestyle as a prized asset, and an electronic collar that will kill her if she steps out of line. As a powerful telekinetic, she spent the last 10 years of her life in the corporate military, fighting anyone and anywhere the company demands. While she might resent her gilded cage and obedience to her corporate master's cold directives, everyone knows that escape is impossible. Defiance risked not just her own life, but also the life of the person closest to her, Galen Ambrell, her lover and fellow bound psionic. But when Galen's service contract is suddenly sold to a distant oligarch, Corel learns that obedience was not the guarantee of safety she once thought. Escape might not be as inconceivable as she was taught to believe. When a mission brings her into contact with an unexpected ally, she must decide how far she can go and how much she's willing to risk for freedom. We will also be reading Melody by David Hoffer, which is a first contact techno thriller. If you've been around this channel for a while, you know I am a big fan of thrillers, but as far as what this one is about, a melody from the stars can save humanity, but only if Stephen can awaken the alien within. Childhood therapy cured Stephen Fisher of disturbing visions and the delusion of having come from another world. But when his daughter obsesses over a star in the night sky, he fears that his genetic legacy may have burdened her with the same illness. His sanity is then shattered when he loses his child and the military abducts him, claiming that she recorded a song broadcast from another world. A voice inside Stephen's head convinces him that he can bring his daughter back to life. What he discovers instead is a stunning truth about himself, his child's destiny, and fate of the entire human race. I don't know what it is about stories that the fate of the entire human race hangs in the balance of that I just love so much, but that's one of the aspects about this one that really drew me in. This next one, I looked at the cover, I saw the title, and I thought, this one might be a little younger than what I care for, but when I tell you I started this one and I did not want to stop at 20%, I read the first 20% of this one in one go. I absolutely loved it. This is A Space Girl from Earth by Christina McMullen. Ellie Whitmore is no ordinary girl. Even if her parents weren't internationally famous celebrities, her 6'4" height and oddly spotted complexion would make her stand out in any crowd. But never would she have guessed she was an alien from far across the galaxy, or that hidden within her genetic makeup lies the Kairobi, an ancient and powerful relic housing the forbidden knowledge of her people. Knowledge some would sacrifice everything to possess. Worse, it isn't just the malevolent emperor who wants the Kairobi. Her own mother can't resist the draw of the ultimate power, and the one person Ellie might be able to trust is an unrepentant assassin who may be responsible for her life's upheaval. Now she must travel to a distant planet and unlock the secrets restoring peace and ending tyranny. But how can anyone expect her to save the galaxy when she can't even pass organic chemistry? I know from reading that book description, you might be thinking the same thing I did, but I absolutely loved the first 20% of this book, and I cannot wait to read the whole thing. We also have The Trellis by Jules Cantor, and the description for this one is: The world turns, the ice caps melt, and the dust belt creeps eastward. Cyberpunks might do their thing in Goa or Melbourne or Daegu, but in Chicago, Debbie Peck is a conflict mediator fighting for relevance and her next paycheck. When her headhunter offers her an interview at the Jefferson Trellis, one of the last bastions of American prosperity, she jumps at the opportunity. She lands right in a dead man's shoes. As Debbie navigates her new position, and 6 Counties homicide detective Melody Jackson investigates the murders occurring in the Trellis, they each untwine the tendrils of a secret creeping through its corner offices. Like the botanical gardens at the Trellis's base, their worlds weave between the lush, the stark, the delicate, and the deadly. Set in the near future and dancing between mystery, sci-fi, and literary fiction, the Trellis deftly layers a few years of continued decline to the American condition. Whether it's the drone swarms or deep fakes, the haves of 0.1% or the have-nots, the technology has predictably improved and the people predictably haven't. Debbie's world is both familiar and fantastic, both funny and frightening, but to call it a dystopia would damn our own to the same definition. That just sounds amazing. This one is another one that I'm very excited to read the whole thing. We'll also be reading Gary Gibson's Echogenesis. The description for this one says, an alien world teeming with deadly life, and 15 strangers with no memory of how they came to be there. From the moment Sam Newman and 14 others awaken inside metal coffins next to the burning wreckage of a spacecraft, they face a constant struggle to stay alive on a seemingly uninhabited planet light years from home. The last any of them remember, they were back home on Earth at a time when interstellar travel was little more than a distant pipe dream. Survival means finding out who or what brought them to this place. Yet what few answers they find amidst the steaming jungles and the ruins of that distant world defy all logic or sanity. And soon it becomes clear that something has gone terribly wrong. Something that could mean humanity's survival or its extinction. Another one that has the survival of the human race hanging in the balance. I absolutely was intrigued by this one when I read of it. I did not want to put it down either, so I am very excited to see where this one's going to go. And the final book that will round out the list of top 6 chosen by Team Book Invasion is Echoes of Another Earth by J. Daniel Layfield. A scientist in hiding, an admiral on the brink of treason, a man who has lived hundreds of versions of his life across the same number of dimensions. 3 paths converge in one dimension. Their actions will affect them all. Josh hasn't really felt like himself since the first time he died. It's funny what you can get used to. With his next jump into another Josh's life, he may finally get some answers, but does he want to hear them? Better question, can he trust the scientist being hunted by his past? Whatever Josh chooses, his actions will either aid in saving this dimension from destruction or add it to a long list of ones destined to end. Honestly, when I was sampling the first 20% of all 6 of these books, I didn't want to stop at 20%. But I had to because I had 28 books that I needed to sample and vote on. I am super excited to read all 6 of these books. Out of the 28 books that made up the slush pile for Team Book Invasion this year, it was very difficult to narrow it down to 6. I think I actually said yes to maybe 18 or 20 of them. So the dream is to hopefully be able to work the rest of those novels into my TBR down the line and get them read. I'd like to finish them for my own personal enjoyment, review them for y'all in case there are ones that you might want to enjoy as well, and just sharing the bookish love. What are your thoughts on Team Book Invasion's top 6? Did any of the descriptions strike your fancy? Did one stand out more than the other? I would love to hear any and all thoughts down in those comments below. I will of course update you all on my thoughts on these 6 books going forward as I read them. I hope you're excited to hear more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.